Muy bien, pues para toda la banda de hoy, 89.7 FM, el día de hoy estamos encantados de la vida porque tenemos nada más y nada menos que a Steve Aoki. It's a pleasure to have you here in this press tour. Tell me, do you like press tours? I mean, is it something that you enjoy?
I like that I'm promoting a single in a country that will support the song.
And Mexico, it's really supportive with you, right? I mean, over the years, it has, I suppose, it has become a place that you can call home, right?
Yeah, it's true. And I made a major focus this year to work with Mexican artists. So,
yeah, I know.
Of course, that's why I'm here, because it means a lot to me. So it's not just like the Latin community, but the Mexican community has always been supporting to me a lot, through my shows, through social media, through, my just pure EDM records. There's a really big electronic movement here in Mexico. So, to be able to work with more just Mexican regional kind of music and Mexican trap and artists like Santa Fe Clan and Nathaniel Cano. Finally, I get to work with, artists from this region that's been supporting me.
I want to know how this journey began. I think that maybe in the pandemic moment, when all of us had a lot of time, we had a lot of moments to think and to plan what could be the next movement in the world, right? What was the time you decided to take this step?
Actually, during the pandemic is when this album was born.
Okay.
So this is, I finished Neon Future 4.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the pandemic, that's when Neon Future 4 came out. And that's when I was like, okay, I want to shift gears. Mm-hmm. I want to create a whole new world. Neon Future 4 I was working on almost a decade. Yeah, I spent 4 albums. I mean, it took a long time to build this this brand. And it became a brand. It became a comic book. It became an NFT project. And it still exists, and it's still going to continue to exist. But I want to create a whole new world, a world of new characters, a new storyline, a world where I could build into comic books, into animation, into video games. And I'm going to start out with trading cards. But I want to connect the trading cards with my music.
Wow. It was going to be like a code or something that connected them.
Yeah, so what we did was after I finished my album and we decided, okay, this is going to be the first physical release for Hero Quest, Hero Quest Genesis. We told the fans, look, on this day, at this hour, we're only going to release, just for a few hours, the CDs with one Hero Quest trading card. It's going to be inside the CD.
Okay.
Just to let people know this exists, and if you want it, it's only going to be for the diehard fans. We only we open it up at 9 a.m. We close it at 1 p.m.
Well, it's
only 5 hours.
Strategy.
Yeah, so we only let 5 hours. You have opportunity to buy a CD with a trading card.
I love the idea of getting the digital out of everything. Right now we are in this digital era, and this strategy is really thrilling and really exciting to do that, to keep the music in a physical way.
Yeah, because I know most people don't have CD players, but it's still nostalgic to have a CD.
Okay.
Even Dimak, my label, we haven't made a CD in many years. So we came back, we're like, okay, we're going to do it. We want to do it with this trading card. And I think people are excited about the new Hero Quest introduction because this is the first offering to the world of what Hero Quest looks like. Wow. And I love trading cards. I love collectible cards. And we partnered with MetaZoo, who did all the artwork with me and helped me build out this world. But the music side of the album is also, since it was born in COVID, it was a completely different process for me to finish this album. Previous to this, pre-COVID, I was touring around the world. Yeah. So wherever I go, I can pop up in studio, work with artists wherever I'm at, and which has really made my sound global, and it's really made my sound, obviously go across the world. So with this album, I'm still keeping the global sound of Steve Aoki, but it's actually a lot more of my nostalgic roots. Before I was a DJ.
Before you were a DJ, even.
So before I was a DJ, I used to be in bands. I played guitar, I played bass. I sang in a few bands, and I was in more punk rock bands and hardcore bands. So I'm not saying there's hardcore songs on the album, but there's more rock-leaning songs, more alternative sounds, more guitars, more live instruments on this album than I've ever had on any previous album. So, I mean, of course, there's Latin, because obviously I have Nata and Santa Fe Clan and Soda Product and Guayna, who's we have a reggaeton record on this album. But I also have a lot of rock songs on this album.
This sounds like the younger you talk to you and you get in contact with him in this moment. I want to do the comic. I want to do the rock, and this part of you, it was a reconnection with yourself.
Yes, it is. It was. I mean, when you spend a lot more time with like not having a structured schedule, because I mean, if you imagine, if I was touring 200 to 300 shows a year every year for 15 years straight, so everything is structured. When I go home, I have a studio session. The studio session is specifically for this particular song. It has a very particular deadline. I have to get it done. I can't be ineffective. I have to focus on getting the records finished and pump them out, right? Yeah. Now, during COVID, there's no structure. I was free. So I was jamming. I was experimenting. I was having fun. I was like doing things that I wish I could have done before. And then I felt like I was a musician again. I picked up a guitar. I was playing. I was having fun with it. I'm like, oh, wow, I don't necessarily need to do everything the way it was supposed to be before. I want to try something different.
You get out of the box.
I went back to my roots, and at the same time I was finishing, there's like 5 or 6, main tracks on the album that are rock leaning. I still want people, I don't want this to be a rock album. Still Steve Aoki. I still have a global fan base. So I'm making sure to call out my friends in different genres and say, let's finish this together in the next 2 years of what the global sound looks like, right? So, and that's why I'm glad that you have hip hop on there, you have Latin on there, you have pure EDM bangers on there, you have a country song on there. I really do mix the bag up.
Well, sounds great. Let me stop you here and ask you something. I have this theory about the reconciliation, about the relation between the humankind and the music during the pandemic. I think that for every one of us, some records save our life in that moment. I mean, it's clear that music, it's more important than we believed in the past years. I mean, in the 2020, and the position around humankind, it's really not a thing that you can have here at a certain moment that you uses of that idea of a party. The music, it's really important for the humankind to reconsider the relation. Do you think so?
Yeah, it's like what we go through. I mean, music is just an emotional outlet, right? It's an emotional expression, just the same way a painting is an emotional expression for an artist or a sculpture. I mean, this period of time from 2020 to 2022, this is my emotional expression of music and life, because I'm really creating a lot more than just music with Hero Quest. I created basically a company, and this company is transformative. It's transforming music, this music that I've been working on, with this whole new world that I'm going to be sharing with everyone, with the first offering being these trading cards. I mean, the second that we're going to be doing, we already have a plan for the second set, because the demand is so high. I mean, it's very rare for EDM artists to sell, even 1,000 CDs, let alone 30,000 in 5 hours. So there is such a demand. We're going to make sure that we build that for the fans.
When you were this young kid in college and you were studying sociology, maybe if you had a project like this, you would have studied, right? I mean, you would have studied different interesting points of culture, of history. I mean, I suppose that's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, because honestly, for me, since music is just an outlet of mine, I'm really more concerned about cultural disruption.
Yeah.
I'm like, how can like music, art, our expressions disrupt culture in a way where we can transform it, where we can actually help evolve it in the direction that we see is a direction that we want to see. So it's exciting to see that the fans, I mean, it's changing now. The fans, the people that listen to your records, my songs, or any song, or to people that are buying these cards or whatever, we are the voice now. We changed the whole institution, the structure of how things work. It's not top down. It's really bottom up. It's all happening. This is the same way that Latin music has taken over the whole world. The biggest artist in the whole world is not singing in English. Mm-hmm. This is like a completely big toppling of the way that the music structure has always influenced the world. It's flipped because the fans are so much louder than the institutions.
They had their voices out in social media where it can go viral, but also in the studying parts we have a lot of voices, some who we like and some that we don't like, right? I mean, a really dangerous part that we're in wars, we're in polarization. Everyone is living this. How do you think about this moment?
Well, yes, there's always difficult times.
Yeah.
But what the day and age that we're living in now is by far the greatest time to live than any other period of time.
Yeah, I know.
If you go back hundreds of years ago, like if you imagine living in this period of time, 100 years ago, 50 years ago, yeah, of course there's like certain areas that are just being decimated by wars, and that's awful. That's tragic, and that needs to end. Of course I want wars to end. They don't need to exist at this level. You can find ways to communicate without having to commit violence. Obviously, this is like the way in which the humans need to operate. But I think in general, we are living in by far the best time of human civilization. And it's like I want to embrace the positive as much as possible.
I love that.
And of course, like there's dark stuff happening. But I don't want to like just sit in the darkness. I want to try to shed the light on like the amazing things happening. And spread the positive energy as best as possible, because there's amazing things that are happening as well.
And you're showing a part of them and working with them. And I want to tell you, it's incredible the way that you are changing the world. It's amazing, Steve, that you have to have you here. And congratulations about everything that you're doing. So thank you very much for being here with us. Pues para toda la banda de hoy 89.7 FM, ahí lo tienen, Steve Aoki.